Hey everybody, Jimmy Smith. Before I get into my next fight breakdown for UFC 300, I have a special announcement to make. I'm starting a fighting tour company next year, and I'm doing my inaugural tour this year, September 16th to the 26th. I'm going to Amsterdam to train at the Voss Gym and kickbox for 10 days. I'm taking 11 people with me, so it's a dozen, myself included. We're going to be staying in Amsterdam for 10 days. We're going to be kickboxing at the Voss Gym, hanging out in Amsterdam, having a good time, doing fun stuff every couple days. But that's what it is. I take care of the accommodations, your transportation from where we're staying to the gym, the training itself. You'll be training with me and a bunch of other people. Doesn't matter what your level is. Come have fun. Train at the Voss Gym. It's one of the best gyms in the world. For people out there who are old enough to have seen Fight Quest, it's basically Fight Quest. I'm taking you with me, and we're training in some gym somewhere in the world where I have been at some point in my career. And we're going to have some fun. That's how it's going to work. So you see the flyer there. That's all the information. All you have to do is send an email to fightingtours@gmail.com. And I will send you all the information, where we're staying, how much it costs. But it's 10 days in Amsterdam this September. Once again, all you're going to be doing is kickboxing at the Voss Gym every single day and having fun with me in Amsterdam. That's how it's going to work. So, on to the fight breakdown. I'm doing one of UFC 300 every single day. Today is Xiaonan versus the champ Zhang Weili for the 115-pound title. This was a really, I don't say controversial, nothing really controversial about it. When this was announced as a title fight for UFC 300, remember it was announced before any other title fights, it was kind of like, oh, really? Not that it's bad. Not that, Yan Xiaonan doesn't deserve the opportunity. Not that Weili Zhang isn't a great champion. She isn't exciting. None of these things. It's an all-Chinese matchup, and it's not taking place in China. I thought they would do this, and it made sense they do it at a, Macau show or something, some big Chinese or at least Asian show, and put this as your main event. And they put it on UFC 300. So I think it was one of those, hey, what champ's available? What can work right now? This one works. Let's do it. The problem is, once again, it's the wrong passport. A lot of MMA fans put this way at the bottom of the list, even beyond the main card, right? Would put, Yuta Prochazka versus Alexander Rakic ahead of this, or Davison Figueiredo, right, versus Cody Garbrandt put ahead of this fight in terms of interest level. Don't know whether it's fair or not, but people are going to like what they like. Now, here's the issue, too. Aside from this idea that, it's not the most exciting matchup in the world, right, is Yan Xiaonan is a worthy contender. She's a very good fighter. She fights a lot like Zhang Weili, except Zhang Weili fights a little bit better at everything than her. So there's not a real contrast in styles or not a real clash. It's kind of like, well, Yan Xiaonan does almost everything better than Zhang Weili does almost everything better than Yan Xiaonan. So similar fighters, similar builds, and Zhang Weili, the champ, has a better grasp on those skills, right? She's just a little better technically. Also, Yan Xiaonan, when you look at her wins, now she lost 2 in a row. She lost to Carla Esparza, and then she loses to Marina Rodriguez in a very close fight. But when she beat Mackenzie Dern and Jessica Andrade, what does she do? She beasts them. She's stronger, she's bigger, she's faster, she gets them on their heels, and that's how she wins. She's not going to bully Zhang Weili. Nobody bullies Zhang Weili. You can beat her. It's possible. Rose Namajunas did it. But she's just a physical specimen. You don't, go after her and muscle her around and win. Like Jessica Andrade, that's how she wins too, and, didn't work against Zhang Weili. So this idea that Yan Xiaonan, no, she doesn't have technical skill. She's a good fighter. It's when she's on the receiving end of the bullying, right? First lesson in life, there's always a bigger bully. When she's on the receiving end of the bullying, she doesn't do as well, and she's not going to bully around Zhang Weili. Now, if they lost to Carla Esparza, probably the worst performance of Yan Xiaonan's career, probably the best performance of Carla Esparza's career. But when she was on the bottom, when she was getting taken down, when she wasn't able to impose her will or her game, doesn't have a fantastic guard, not super slick from the bottom, like a Mackenzie Dern, for example, who Yan Xiaonan beat, she can catch you from the bottom. She can throw up some crazy stuff and catch you. Yan Xiaonan, probably not. She can do some stuff on top. She has a decent submission game. But it's not slick. It's not a bottom-type game. So the idea of, Zhang Weili getting on her, pushing her around, getting the takedown going, working the ground and pound, much like Carla Esparza did in that dominant fashion, it's easy to see the way that Zhang Weili might dominate this fight, right? And when you look at the odds for this, depending on your book, I'm looking at Best Fight Odds right now. They give all the odds: plus 375, plus 330, plus 350 on Yan Xiaonan. Zhang Weili is as high as minus 480. You get minus 500, 5-1 favorite. Yeah. So on a betting wise, stay away from it. All right, either throw some money at Yan Xiaonan, thinking, hey, maybe there's an upset, or look for some other way to make money. Simply because Zhang Weili, who's probably going to win, is such a favorite that you're just not going to make anything betting on her. So either throw some money at Yan Xiaonan, screw it, maybe you do get the upset, or is there some other way to capitalize on this? Now, if we look at the lines here. I'm looking right now at DraftKings Sportsbook, and I'm looking at the over-under on this and see if there's anything worth doing. The over-under is 3.5 right now. You can get plus 110 on under 3.5. That's a good bet. I would take money on that and get plus money on under 3.5 rounds. Remember, it's a 5-round fight. So under 3.5 plus 110, that would be worth a bet to me. That would be worth it. There's a good chance Yan Xiaonan, is put on her heels, put on her back early by Zhang Weili, and Zhang Weili is able to capitalize quickly. Not necessarily quickly. 3.5 rounds is a long time. So I would go with the under at 3.5. Wouldn't touch the odds on this with a 10-foot pole. Wouldn't do it. It's really not worth betting money on Zhang Weili. You'd have to bet your house. And Yan Xiaonan, underdog, sure, throw a little cash at her, but I don't think she has much of a chance of winning. I do like the under at 3.5. So that's my betting pick, is going with the under here. What I think of Zhang Weili all-time, how she get it done in this. And also, doesn't have it here on DraftKings, but if you can get good odds, under by submission, right? So if you think about a finish, how does she get it? The safest way to do it is by submission. Get somebody hurt and finish her. Yan Xiaonan, once again, as I've said, on her back isn't going to be particularly dangerous. It could be Zhang Weili takes her down, pounds a little bit, and gets an easy submission. Rear naked choke, something like that. Because she's positionally so dominant, right? She's just amazing at that. So how good is Zhang Weili? Who do I see stopping her? 115 has always been a deep division. It's always been dangerous. It's always been deep. It's always been tough. So she's in a tough division for sure. But when it comes to physical strength at 115 and well-roundedness, my God, I was really surprised when Rose Namajunas got the head kick knockout, put her down, and became champion again at 115. I was even more surprised when Rose beat her again, in obviously by decision in a long fight, because she's just so powerful. She's so technical. She doesn't have a lot of weaknesses. She really doesn't. So Yan Xiaonan was the best they could do right now for the UFC as far as a challenge for Zhang Weili. But when I look at the rankings at 115, right now Zhang Weili's your champ. Yan Xiaonan's the number one contender. Tatiana Suarez, Amanda Lemos, Jessica Andrade, Virna Jandiroba. Tatiana Suarez is the big X factor here. Why? She has world-class wrestling, which is very rare. And she's big for this weight class. Big and strong. Crazy strong. She's the only one I see when I look at the top 15 who could take Zhang Weili down and keep her there. Take her down and keep her there. Take her down with consistency and keep her there. I think Tatiana Suarez, currently undefeated, if you guys don't know the story, has been out with some injuries for a while. Came back, it was neck, and then I think it was knee and neck, kept her out for a while. She's come back. She's undefeated in her career. She's looked good in her return. I think 115 is perfect for her, but we'll see. But she's the only threat right now physically. And once again, in this fight where Yan Xiaonan, when she's won, she's been physically dominant. I don't see that happening against Zhang Weili. So someone's going to have to beast her. And the only one I see on this list who can beast her when it comes to the top 15 is Tatiana Suarez. With the wrestling, the size, the length, I think she might have an opportunity to do it. So, anyway, that's what I think for your betting lines. It's not worth putting money on Zhang Weili, although I think she is going to win. Maybe throw a little at Yan Xiaonan, see if you can get an upset. But I do like the under at plus money. That's on DraftKings. You can find a good plus money on the under. It's 3.5 rounds. I would go with it tomorrow, next fight. Enjoy.